Finding a machine's OEE is not as easy as it looks. We've helped hundreds of manufacturers find MES and OEE tracking systems, and believe me, the same mistakes come up again and again. In this video, I'll explain how to calculate and analyze it the right way, and show you how to avoid the most common mistakes companies make. So what is OEE? It stands for Overall Equipment Effectiveness, and it measures your total production efficiency, shown as a percentage from 0 to 100. What makes it so useful is that it reflects what's actually happening on your shop floor, not just some theoretical numbers on paper. The formula for OEE equals availability times quality times performance, or AQP. Pretty easy, right? Well, not really. It's actually 3 separate formulas that you have to calculate. But if you want to see this written out, we have a How to Calculate OEE page on our website. It goes through the formula step by step, gives examples, and explains what software can be used to automate it. The link is in the description below if you want to check it out. I'll start with availability. This one's actual runtime divided by planned production time. Basically, each machine has a scheduled production time for the day, how long it's supposed to be running and making parts. The answer we're trying to answer is how much of that time was it running. So here's the thing about OEE. It's looking at the real world. So things like scheduled breaks, holidays, shift changes, those don't hurt your availability score because they're planned. It's only unplanned downtime, like breakdowns or line stops. The key here is to know the difference between the planned and unplanned downtime. Say you have a plan to run for 10 hours, but you have a 30-minute team meeting. You subtract that 30 minutes, leaving you with 9.5 hours of planned runtime. But if your machine unexpectedly goes offline for 30 minutes, this is considered downtime. Then you're down to 9 hours of actual runtime. So 9 hours divided by the planned 9.5 makes your availability score 94.7%. Once you get that, quality is the next step. This one's pretty easy. It's just good parts divided by total parts. No, really, that's all it is. Quick example. Say you made 410 total parts, but only 370 were quality. Your score would be 90.2%. Once you've got those two down, performance is a little trickier. It's your actual produced amount divided by runtime times the standard rate. Or more simply, actual output divided by the theoretical output. Let's go back on our example and use the 9 hours of runtime from earlier. If your machine standard rate is 60 parts per hour, then 9 times 60 is 540 parts. That's your theoretical output. Now, a lot of companies don't use an accurate standard rate, which I'll get to later on. So if you produced only 410 parts for the day, divide 410 by 540, and your performance score is 75.9%. Keep in mind that this is the total parts, not just the good ones. Now to get your final OEE score, multiply the 3 percentages together. In this case, it would be 64.8%. For most discrete operations, 80 to 85% is considered world-class. But if you're calculating it for the first time, you'll be below this, and that's totally normal. In fact, 60% is considered a good score, and even 40% isn't uncommon. It just means you've got room to optimize, which, let's be honest, almost any plant has. And not every plant can even get to 85%. It all depends on your specific processes. If you end up with anything above 85%, you're probably calculating something wrong. And never aim for 100%. That's literally impossible without perfect production every single time. OEE is effective for most manufacturing businesses, especially complex discrete and process operations. Typically, these are plants with over $100,000 in machinery. If you're a low-volume shop or even a custom or continuous process plant, you don't need to worry about OEE. So you've got your number. How do you analyze it? Dig in and see which category is holding you back. Is your availability low? Try and see what's causing downtime or failures. If your quality is low, see where you produce the most scrap. And if your performance is down, it could be minor stops or just slow operations that's costing you. There are different ways to tackle this. Root cause analysis, Pareto charts, or trend analysis through reports. But bottom line is this. Don't think of OEE as just a number you need to hit. Think of it as a tool to genuinely improve your production. Now that you know how to calculate it, I want to talk about choosing the right system. But again, there's no cut and dry answer. It all depends on your operation's complexity and scale. If you're just getting started with OEE, maybe you have a few machines or lines, I recommend doing it manually using Excel spreadsheets. It's a good way to understand the process and see if it actually helps your operation. But I wouldn't do this long term. You're a lot more prone to errors, and it can take forever to do it by hand. Once you're monitoring several machines or running multiple shifts, you want to move to a dedicated OEE platform. These can connect with your equipment through sensors or a PLC network and collect your data. This makes sense when manual time tracking becomes too time consuming or when you need to see data in real time. A system like Traction is a good option. They even have their own sensors for fast implementation. Larger operations may want to consider an MES or manufacturing execution system. It basically connects your ERP data with what's happening on the shop floor like a command center. You can track OEE, but you're also getting quality data, work orders, scheduling, the whole 9 yards. I recommend checking out our MES video where we compare systems like ShopView and Master Control. And if you're unsure whether you need an OEE platform or a full MES, we're here to help. At Software Connect, we work with you to find a system that makes sense for your business. Just visit softwareconnect.com to talk with an expert for free. Let's go over some of the most common mistakes I see manufacturers make when calculating OEE. One of the biggest is downtime manipulation. This can happen in a couple of different ways. Sometimes maintenance times are categorized as unplanned events, which reduces availability. But more often, it's reversed. Unplanned downtimes are recorded as scheduled events to avoid hurting your score. It's fairly common practice if a manufacturer needs to reach a certain number to make a customer happy. Here's how to fix this. Make sure you establish clear, consistent definitions up front. No gray areas that leave room for, quote, creative interpretation. And make it crystal clear that it's a diagnostic tool, not a report card. If your percentage is low, finding out why is way more important than just making the number look better. Another common mistake I see is finding the standard rate. It should be based on your demonstrated best achievable performance under normal conditions. Not your average and not your nameplate speed. If you use your average, you're hiding how much improvement is possible. But if you use the nameplate speed, even when machines are old, you're setting an unachievable rate. If you have no data, you can start with the nameplate speed, do some studies, and gather the past data from top performing shifts across a few months. Consider other factors and account for your product mix. That way, you'll have challenging but fair standards to reach. The last tip I have is to use true first pass yield to measure quality. Some companies count reworked or repaired items as good output, which inflates your quality percentage. Your quality should include only first pass approved parts to evaluate the actual efficiency of machines. So now you know how to correctly calculate OEE, what systems make sense for you, and some common mistakes to avoid. If you want to talk things through with an expert, reach out at softwareconnect.com. We'll be happy to find a system that makes sense for your operations. What kind of manufacturer are you? Are you already calculating OEE but have some questions? Let us know in the comments. And if you're thinking about MES but want to do some more digging first, watch our video covering some of our favorites here.